Dear Robin Williams, I love you. I was so surprised to hear about your death. It hit me in the gut and weighed heavily on my heart. I was truly surprised and did not want to believe that you had and have passed away. Even more surreal and less able am I to accept the fact that I hear you hanged yourself. But through writing this letter, I am coming to terms with that. The only way I can understand your suicide is if I look, which I feel now somewhat forced to do, so deeply at my own suffering, despair, sadness, loneliness and hopelessness that I understand how I could hang myself and want to put an end to it all. Your death is a confrontation to live and to accept myself as a man and to see what good I can do to try to love, and that there is something really worth living for. To let the past be the past, to grit my teeth and just get on with it. Robin, I will miss you, even though we never met personally. Your light shines through your words and acting and has touched me deeply. You were like a father from far away to me through films like Captain Hook, in which you played the irreplaceable Peter Pan and made so clear in words what every child feels and cannot necessarily pronounce, the magic of hope. And how by just holding on to one thought, one kindness, one loving belief, you can actually fly. Whilst this hasn't worked physically for me yet, it certainly has worked and continues to work mentally in my imagination. Robin, you stood, and through your films and recordings, continue to stand for freedom, for courage, for love. Even though you committed suicide, to me you are and always will be a hero who embraced life, as far as I could see, with open arms and a smile, with wit and the ability to push through the supposedly solid walls constricting us and punch through to outside of the box. You are and were such a warm-hearted, strong and loving image of what a man can and should be, and I honor and love you for what you achieved in your life. Now that you are gone, I wish all the more you were here. While my mind knows I will never actually meet you, my heart cannot grasp that fact. As you once so wisely said, bad things will happen, but they will wake you up to the good things. Robin, you were and are one of the best things. And simultaneously hearing about your death is even a bad and a good thing. Terrible because you are gone and you died, but good because you remind all of us of great things. Similar to what happened when Nelson Mandela died also. We are all instantly reminded of the truth, the collective truth which you've spoken now that you're gone. I love your courage. I love your ability to be open and vulnerable and funny and to redefine manliness in a male-dominated world. To be crazy, to be all out, outrageously, spontaneously amazing, like the genie in Aladdin, or your wild self in Jumanji. Roles which I saw when I didn't even know how to count. I want to tell you, I can feel your pain. I can understand your depression. I don't blame you for killing yourself. I'm not angry at you for leaving, but I am sad you are no longer here. I will never stop loving you and what you stood for, what you lived for, and I'm still working on embodying many values which you so clearly and effectively brought to light. Values such as the victory of the imagination over day-to-day life, kindness, compassion, courage, which this world so desperately needs. Right now I am looking at a big collage of portraits of you on Google, and I'm thinking about how you, as one of many, helped make the world we live in today possible, about how much has changed since you were born, and what the movement of the 60s changed, and what your part in a film like Good Morning Vietnam did for the consciousness of humanity, waking many who were ignorant up to the plight of suffering and the delusion of war ever really being a good or black and white thing. I am considering, what if you had never lived? What would the world look like? And while I don't fathom that I can ever really give an answer to that question, I get the feeling that you're a very important domino stone in a chain of unlikely events which helped make the world a grander, a much more love-filled place. Strangely, I feel closer to you now, and I remember the words you spoke in Dead Poets Society about seizing the day, and that each and every one of us listening will soon also be dead. Food for flowers. And they are pushing me to have a greater impact, to live while I still can. You made the choice between love and fear so clear, between being a slave to circumstance and ignorant and being a champion and captain of one's own soul. You made me aware that I do actually have a choice in how I live. And you reminded me in my teenage years and early 20s of my own fire, of my own childhood and the magic which I'd lost, my own spark. And I'm sure millions love you for exactly that, like I do. Dear Robin, I am sure many will call this hero worship or blasphemy or illegitimate, but I'm going to compare you to Jesus and Gandhi and Martin Luther King and people of that caliber, because even though there wasn't a movement or demonstration or a law which you overturned or anything of that nature, your personality and love shine through your work, and I'm sure you affected a lot of good things and stopped a lot of bad things from happening by what you did. I've heard rumors and even things you admitted to about your drug use, and I don't see them as disgraces to you. I believe that barriers which people place on themselves and others, and how they so neatly categorize one another, are false. And I've tried to not judge myself for anything, but live open-heartedly like you. You showed me again and again that what really counts is the heart, and that the heart does not make distinctions. It just keeps pumping blood around the body so that the whole body can live. And the heart does not stop living and start categorizing and then resume living again later when everything is all neat and tidy. It simply beats unceasingly to ensure that life goes on. And you were a person like the heart. You continue pumping, being crazy, being enthusiastic. You continued beating, continued trusting and living and loving as long as you could. And I'm sure that what you've given to humanity will continue to be given, will be paid forward. I, for my part, know that I'll take and continue to take to heart what you said. In short, thank you for everything, and rest in peace. You truly were a star, traversing the heavens, shining. And now that your light has gone out and that you have left your body, I wish you a safe travel to your next destination, if there is one, and that you reap a glorious bounty of your life, even though you could not bear the things which led to your last decision. I am sure that the Spirit of life, that God, the unnameable, will have mercy on you and reward you for passing on all which you have given in good faith to myself and my brothers and sisters here in this world. Dear Robin, I no longer need to hunt for goodwill, the will to do good. Your life and the symbol of your passing have delivered it directly to me. Funnily enough, my middle name is Adam, and like in the film Patch Adams, I have now lost someone quite dear to me, and I kind of felt like giving up for a while, closing the clinic, so to speak. But instead of closing down, I will now go ahead with even more speed and resolve. I've noticed that it's time to get off the machine, to spend less time pondering questions of artificial intelligence and simply use the real intelligence I have while I still have time. Love and so much gratitude, Sam, a fan.